राजधानी राजधानी
Honorable Justice APN Venkat Chalaya sir, Honorable Justice T.S. Thakur sir, Honorable Justice Dheeraj Singh Thakur sir, Ali Mehdi ji, the Dean of this faculty, four of my classmates, J.P. Rai, Professor Patel, Vibha and Mr. K.N. Sharma, Amita ma'am, Gitanjali ma'am, Shweta, my wife Rashmi is here, and Siddharth and Aruna ma'am. I don't know all of the professors' name. I am sorry for that. I should have been in touch so that I could have actually addressed each one of you. But please accept my sincere regards on behalf of alumni of law faculty. When D. Saab was addressing, he made one remark. He passed the judgment that Honorable Justice Thakur Saab is young. He is young and he will remain young. But you forget about the youngest member who is present here. That is Honorable Justice APN Venkat Chalaya. He is such a person that the power, the post, the position, it doesn't come to his head. I recall few incidents because this is a kind of home for me and it doesn't require to address so many other things, but I straight away I want to come to Honorable Justice APN Venkat Chalaya sir. When he was chairman of National Human Rights Commission, because sir I told you about this in the morning, there was a lathi charge incident on students at Asighat. Most of you, like this, the professors who are our classmates, they may recall it. And that night, around 11:30, we approached Honorable Justice Venkat Chalaya and he picked his phone. The moment he received the call, next day he sent his DG Shankar Singh and SSP those days, Shivaji Singh, both of them were very efficient. They properly investigated it. Though NHRC doesn't have power to prosecute anybody, they don't have power to pass a judgment, they can simply recommend something. And finally, when they recommend, it is up to the government to accept it or not. Those were the days when there was no State Human Rights Commission, only one National Human Rights Commission was there. Because of the efforts made by Honorable Justice Venkat Chalaya, the state government not only suspended those guilty officers, but also paid 40,000 rupees to each student as part of compensation deducted from the salaries of those arranged. That shows the efficiency, that shows the power of a gentleman. Many few of you may not be knowing the background of Honorable Justice Venkat Chalaya. He was earlier selected for police service, Indian police service. And the year he was selected, his father asked him that I want you to be gentleman, not a policeman. And he decided to leave the job and join this noble profession. Honorable Justice T.S. Thakur sir, we know him for a long time. I have seen his father, late D.T. Thakur sir, who was a signature himself. Whatever he used to speak, that had some meaning, and many of us still look at whatever he had said. Justice Thakur sir is a person who will never make you feel that you are sitting with such a great person who has great knowledge, great strength, and he will treat you in a way and he will come at your level while talking to you. We all appreciate that. We have not seen Honorable Justice Venkat Chalaya in the Supreme Court as Chief Justice because I was not in the bar those days, I was a journalist. But when I saw Justice Thakur, whatever he could do for the bar, whatever, even the bar lounge, this rooms for the Supreme Court Bar Association, and many other facilities, if there was any demand from the bar or even sometimes without any demand, he did it. So he is that kind of person because it reflects the power of a common man because he belongs to a village which has only 25 houses. So he understands, he started English in class 6 and same as me because we also studied from village. I came to the city first time in class 9 and I got admission in Kamlapur Tripathi Inter College because we had to go for admission ourselves and later in Queen's College and then to Banaras University. When I see all of the professors who are my classmates, sometimes I also have the feeling of that power that I am also a professor. Because 4 professors are my classmates. At least I am half professor that can be treated. Just this D.S. Thakur sir, he has come from Kashmir. He is a very senior judge, very efficient person. Fortunately, D.S. Thakur sir and D.S. Thakur sir both have been registered advocates. So there are too many things which we can learn from both of them. Justice Ahmed Venkat Chilaya sir, whatever he speaks, we just try to listen. And in each sentence, there is something which is a lesson for lifetime. Sir, I will never forget these 4 days spent with you. I will never forget your blessings given to the students of Law Faculty of Banaras University, which was established by our Mahamana. This Law Faculty, my lord, it was started by Mahamana, but he selected many other eminent lawyers as professors and deans of this faculty. 100 years are about to complete. So it is 6 years older to you. You see, what a great step taken by Mahamana. He did not have any background. He was from a poor family of Malwa. He came to Allahabad. Then he was a journalist. He worked with Maharaja Pratapgarh. He started publishing few newspapers. Thereafter, Maharaja only told him, because he had told Maharaja while joining the newspaper that the moment you will call me while you are drunk, I will quit the job. And Maharaja kept his promise for 2 years. One fine evening, he called him, and Mahamana felt that he has not kept his promise, and he resigned. But Maharaja apologized. He requested him to pursue some other profession, at least become a lawyer, and he wanted to fund the fee because Mahamana was a very known, famous Kathavachan of Ramcharitmanas. He used to recite Ramcharitmanas everywhere, and those days he was in demand like today's Murari Bapu and all. They are nothing like him, nothing before him. So then he became lawyer. After becoming lawyer, successful lawyer, he thought that why not to establish a university, because those days Aligarh University was already in existence. Fortunately, 2 great minds, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan and Mahamana, met together at Lucknow. Thereafter, they travelled in the same car to Allahabad, and they decided that at least we should have a university, and what should be the curriculum of that university. But again, the land was the problem, many other things were there. Finally, Maharaja Darbhanga and Kasi Naresh, they all agreed. They donated the land. Nizam's story, that very famous story is already there, though there are some misconceptions. But one fact is there, that when Mahamana got the donation from Hyderabad, it gave a great message to all over India. And the university was formed because Mahamana said, I am not having any ego. I just want to meet you, because earlier occasions whenever Mahamana tried to see him, each and every time Nizam said that I don't want to see, I will not give you audience. Because Mahamana approached him as a political leader, President of Indian National Congress and Hindu Mahatma President. But when he approached, he said, I am here completely for the educational purpose, for the service of society. He offered him a good amount, 1 lakh at one go and then 1.5 lakhs. Later, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan's son, who was the judge in Allahabad High Court, the first Indian High Court judge at the age of 28, he also donated around 24,000. That's how this university was made, established, and still many of our alumnus, they are contributing. Our professors, the contribution of these alumnus like J.P. Rai, Vibha, this Mr. Patel, K.M. Sharma ji, Ali Mehdi is also alumnus. He was senior to us. I don't want to say this because I don't want to treat him as a elder to us, because he has already made Justice Thakur young, so he should have something from all of us. I am actually talking to my brothers now. I don't want to be formal. One thing I tell you, that whenever there is anything which is related to the students of law faculty of Banaras University, I am already there. Your brother is there. If you want any kind of support, any kind of help in the field of profession, or if you want to visit somewhere, or if you feel that you are deprived because of not being of second generation, because it happens sometimes. I am there. You all are not a second generation lawyer, but you all are second generation because of me. You also think that the interpretation of law is sometimes very dangerous. Whatever Germans did in the Nazi rule, Hitler did, whatever he did, that was legal at that point of time. And whatever Mahatma Gandhi or Mahatma Ji did in the days when India was not independent, that was illegal. But interpretation changes when the government changes, but you see, or the policy changes, or the public's mindset changes, or social change is there. But whatever Justice Thakur and Justice Venkatacharya did, that has been legal, that will remain legal, and we all will be keep motivating with those judgments, with those guidance. I am really grateful to all of you that you all have given the time for Banaras University Law Faculty. Sir, I will never forget it, because this is the place where we grew. This is the place where we used to play in these grounds. Every day there was a cricket match. Vibha used to be very upset that why these students are playing cricket here. And that's why she persuaded. Now there is a big auditorium, I think. That place has gone to the auditorium. Otherwise that was a ground we used to play there. I tell you all that you enjoy this life, the student life. This life is not going to come back. When you join the profession, when you work hard. When you join the profession, you work hard, but these 5 years or 3 years courses you must enjoy. You make friends, you just roam around, see the campus, read some books also. I will not say that don't read it, but you enjoy this life, because this life will not come back. And whenever you finish this, don't worry about it. If I can achieve, if Justice Thakur can achieve, you all will also achieve. And I will be happy to see many of you as studied as top lawyers and many of you as professors. So don't worry for all those things, just enjoy, keep yourself happy, and just remember one thing, that after finishing this college, when these days are not coming back, you will have the memories of the college time, and those memories will always give you a strength that how was you in the younger days, and now how you are going to reform, transform your days. So it's a really a great occasion when law faculty organized this program at very short point of time, almost within 3 days. I am really very happy and grateful to Professor Ali Mehdi, grateful to Professor J.P. Rai, whom I requested first, and he said, okay, I will certainly do it, because he had got gold medal from Honorable Justice Venkatacharya. Sir, I don't know what all you have done. In this crowd also, there are at least 20 persons who are grateful to you, who are obliged to you, and who have your photographs in their rooms. Today, this entire gathering is going to have your photographs in the room. They will have it in the lifetime. Please, sir, whenever you are addressing, please forgive me for if I have said something wrong. Thank you so much to everyone.
It's a matter of great honor and privilege for all of us to be present in this hall today and to be listening to the best known judges in the country and the world over. I had the privilege of seeing Justice in the court when I was a law student, and I used to accompany my father, who used to practice in the Supreme Court. And the approach of Honorable Justice Venkatacharya used to be so humble with the most of cantankerous advocates from the Supreme Court, and the manner in which he used to deal with them, and his scholarly abilities used to outshine even the best of lawyers in the Supreme Court. That is the first time that I realized that judges like Honorable Justice Venkatachalaya indeed and really have helped develop the constitutional law in this country and have given a new perspective. Welcome, Honorable Justice Venkatachalaya, and I feel all these youngsters present here today will be actually benefited from the words of wisdom which fall from your lordship's lips, and will help them shape their future in a better way. As far as Justice Thakur is concerned, I've known him for a long time now and lived with him. I'm his younger brother. Like Mr. Pradeep Rai said that you must enjoy your life in the law college. My brother had a different perspective. He used to say that the first 15-20 years of your life which you will spend in the profession will determine your future. So if you work hard for these 15 years, you are likely to make your future and make your life stable in the rest of your coming years. So I think this is the stage when you must start working hard, and that will determine your future, because any digression at any level at this stage or any non-serious stage will also tell upon your future, which I feel may not be the most appropriate thing. The profession of law, if most of you are likely to join as advocates, demands a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work, and that you must be prepared to understand. That's all that I have to say, and I should not be standing between you and Justice Venkatachalaya and Justice Thakur, known orators in the legal field. Apart from their judgments, they also speak extremely well. So, thank you very much, and thanks for giving me this opportunity.
I was very much impressed with Mr. Rai's advice to all my young friends here, that this is the time to enjoy life, and you must enjoy life will flow in times to come, but you must not get bogged down with studies and all. Part of the correction has been made by my younger brother, Mr. Justice Thakur, that no, there is another aspect, another approach. You must work hard, because first 15 years is what is going to determine your future in the legal profession. But I want to share one secret with you. Yesterday we were in Sankat Mochan temple late in the evening, and Rai Sahab was with me. So he said, you know what happens here during the examinations? I said, what happens? He said, all those students who do not study the whole year, they come and pray here. They come and tell the Bhagwan pass karao. So when you talk about enjoying life, remember that Pradeep's Rai Mashwara uska jo hai, the lesson that he is giving you has to be taken with lot of care. He doesn't want you to be all the time in Sankat Mochan temple asking for Lord's intervention for passing the exam. Having said that, I think it's not a bad idea to be conscious of the fact that you are actually going through the best period of your life. I miss my days as a law student, carefree, full of ambitions, full of dreams about the future, fully geared to meet the challenges of life. Memorable days. I must tell you that when I got admitted to the law faculty in Jammu University, we did not have classrooms. We did not have our own faculty building. Leave aside a hall like this where you can, invite speakers to address you. We did not have a place to sit. So what we would do was, we would wait for the English department classes to finish. Because it was their department building. They would finish around 2:30 in the month of June. You can imagine how hot it is. And at 2:30, when there were no air conditioning, there were hardly, you see, any facilities there, we would get the opportunity to enter the rooms, the classrooms which they had vacated. And we would then start our classes. But we had great teachers. I still remember Professor Ian Saraf, who was a PhD from an American university, Professor Sarun Gurdev Singh, who taught us Hindu law, Professor Saraf taught us jurisprudence and contract. Great teachers. And it used to be so enjoyable in the sense that the teachers would welcome the students interacting with them, questioning the theories or the propositions they were propounding, arguing with them. They would encourage, they would be very happy. They would show, that would show that the classroom is alive to what is happening. Students are alive to what is being taught to them. A teacher is very happy if a student asks a question, because then the teacher gets the feeling that the student is trying to understand. Whether or not he has understood is a different matter, he is trying to understand. Usually, you see, law students are known to bunk the classes, they just come, they just get their presence marked, and you see, towards the end of the examination or towards the end of the session, they pick up some jhabawala, some small book and then prepare for the examinations and pass. But then, you see, you must also remember that was the position years back. Some 30 years ago, it was only a person who was not getting admitted to any other department, even Hindi or education, who would get into a law class. Because law class was, it was like the last resort of a person who is not accepted anywhere. But things have changed now. Things have changed materially. Today, law is a very, very competitive and very preferred career. Not only because lawyers are earning good money, but also because people have understood over a period of time that the legal profession is a profession of free thinkers. They are the conscious keepers of the society. They are the ones who awaken the society to enforce their rights. They are the ones who uphold the rule of law. They are the ones who fight for justice in the courts and even outside the courts. You have seen great freedom fighters were all lawyers because they were so conscious of the fact that the rights of humans can be protected only through legal processes and ought to be protected. And therefore I would say that while there are still, you see, institutions which are not so well reputed, Banaras Hindu University is one of those finest institutions, one of those eminent institutions which in the Indian or the universal context one can compare with Cambridge, Oxford or Harvard for that matter. In the Indian context, if you ask me which are, if you ask me in the Indian context which are the finest universities, one would say Banaras Hindu University is perhaps on the top of the list. My misfortune is I never had the opportunity to study here. To add to that misfortune is the fact that even as a Supreme Court judge or as Chief Justice of India, I had never the opportunity to come and participate in any one of your functions, any convocations. I had never missed a convocation invitation because I felt that while you have reached a stage in life, the future lies in the hands of those who are studying in these institutions, and you owe a duty to inspire them. And that is what I used to, you see, tell them, that the future lies in your hands. We have finished our tenure, we have played our innings. We can only now inspire you to keep up the traditions of the legal profession. Whether you are on this side of the bar or you are on the other side of the bar, you owe a great duty to protect the Constitution, to fight for justice in the courts. Over a period of time, you see, in the past, there have been the process of quality education, quality legal education. As you all know,
there are today, you see, practically in every state there is a national law school. It started in Bangalore, and today there are some states where there are more than one. Maharashtra has perhaps 3 national law schools. But in every state, including a smaller state like Himachal Pradesh, has a national law school. But don't be overawed by that, the fact that you are not studying in a national law school. May I tell you, national law school students are outstanding. They are outstanding. There is an examination, as you know, the CLAT examination is so tough. Lakhs of students appear to get admitted to these institutions. The potential of the students is itself so great that the student is so bright that the college actually takes the advantage or the pride that he has produced a very outstanding legal luminary. Fact of the matter is that the boys and the girls who get admitted are the cream of the society, the cream of the younger generation which is getting sucked into the legal profession. But what actually happens is that these children who pass out from these institutions, they don't come to the legal profession. A very small percentage of them really join the legal profession. Most of them, you see, would prefer a corporate office. They would take a plush, you see, chamber in a law firm, get a good, attractive salary in the very beginning, because law students, when you step out, you have the option of roughing it out in the dust and the din of the legal profession, which is so overcrowded, or you get into a corporate culture kind of a working place where you sit in an air-conditioned office and get a handsome salary. So most of these children who pass out from national law schools, they are getting into the corporate world, and that is the loss of the legal profession. The legal profession today also depends on people who pass out from universities like the Banaras University. They are the ones who are going to be the future successful lawyers and judges, both in the state of UP or for that matter in all over the country. Today, if you see, there are 1,000 universities in this country, 1,000 universities. But how many of them can claim the distinction or the depth of knowledge or being a center of learning as this university? 100 years, 4 years elder to even Justice Venkatachalaya, who is today the second oldest Chief Justice who is living in this country. The oldest, Justice Venkatachalaya told me, is Justice K.N. Singh, who also was from your state. He was the Chief Justice of India for a very short tenure, but he is the oldest, and Justice Venkatachalaya continues to be young, participating, and he was telling me, look at the vibrations in this room, look at the thrill, look at the josh in this room, how the entire atmosphere is electrified. I'm so happy to be here with you. I can only tell you that as Chagla has said in his book, legal profession is no bed of roses. Please don't, you see, have the dreams of immediately getting into the elite club of great lawyers. No, it's no bed of roses. They say it is either all bed and no roses, but once you are successful, it is all roses and no bed, because you won't have the time to sleep. I'm very happy, I can assure you that this has been a great pilgrimage for me to come to Kashi Vishwanath to pay homage to the great Lord Shiva. But it has been additionally, you see, rewarding for me to be doing so in the company of one of our greatest jurists, Justice Venkatachalaya. My association with Justice Venkatachalaya goes back to something like 28 or 30 years. I was appointed in 1994 when he was the Chief Justice. I will finish because I don't want to stand between you and him. This is a memorable event where you have somebody like Justice Venkatachalaya who is going to address you. But I am telling you one or two things that, you see, that have left me eternally, you see, grateful to this man. I was just about 15 days old as a judge. I was appointed in Jammu and Kashmir High Court. He had relaxed the age requirement of the candidate being 45, minimum age was 45 years. He saw my, you see, record as a lawyer. He made his inquiries, and eventually he decided that I was perhaps a fit case where I should be appointed at the age of 42. I was the youngest man, but then he said, well, I will not only appoint him, I will take him to my own court, that is the Karnataka High Court. So he, through one of his sitting brother judges, sent a message to me that tell him to remain, to pack up and be ready to move to Karnataka, because he is getting appointed, but he must serve my people, my court, because I have already spoken to people there that I am sending a good judge to you. So I was on my way to Karnataka, and I went to, you see, I asked for an appointment to pay my respects to him, the first time I ever met him. Can you imagine that the Chief Justice of India, with his wife, waiting for me in front of his house to receive the junior most man? The kind of, I was so awestruck that here is the man, the junior most man whom he has appointed some 15 days back as a judge. He is standing there with his lady wife to receive me. This was the first lesson in humility that I got. That the fact that you hold such a high office doesn't really mean that you should say goodbye to the basics of good behavior or etiquettes or conduct. And I was so beholden to him to give me that honor that even when I was the junior most man, he was standing there to receive me. I would then visit him at his house in Karnataka. He would come out barefoot to my car, open the door of my car and make me sit. I felt, there's something which, you see, is beyond human, what we call acquisition. This is something which is divine, and that is what eternally makes a man respectable. Somebody, he told me my last wish is, when I went to see him in Karnataka some months back, he said my last wish is to go to Kashi Vishwanath temple, but I feel in my state of health, can I really make it? I promised him that not only shall I, you see, make every possible arrangement, but also I will be there myself to accompany you to make you comfortable. So yesterday he told me, we were attending a meeting here, one of the functions, he told me, brother, I feel when you are with me, there is a sense of well-being that I get. So you must be my elder brother in the previous janma. I said, no, not elder, I am the younger brother. That is the kind of relationship I have with him, and the only thing that I can tell you is, I have been telling him this, to publish his lectures that he has delivered, because they are full of knowledge, they are full of wisdom, they are full of experience of a lifetime, which only Justice Venkatachalaya could possibly describe to you in his own words. Today is a great day when you will hear him, and please hear him patiently. I know he has become a little feeble. He was telling me he has lost 30 pounds, but please hear him carefully. He will be speaking extempore. If it were a written speech, you could have carried it home, you could have read it over and over again. But since he is going to speak extempore, so you need to be attentive. It will be a lifetime experience for you to listen to this man. I assure you, whenever I have gone to him, it has been a monologue. I have never spoken. It is only he that he speaks, because you don't feel like interrupting him. It's like you see, विद्या की एक नदी जो है बहती है इनके होंठों से. So please listen to him carefully, and God bless you all. I wish you very, very successful careers as lawyers and judges, and I thank the faculty, the dean and everybody here for inviting us and giving us this great honor of being felicitated, of being associated with this institution, no matter in a very brief manner. Thank you and God bless you.
Esteemed Chief Justice Thakur Sahab, Justice Devesh Thakur Sahib, the gracious ladies, inimitable Sri Pradeep Rai, who made such a delightful talk. I wish I were a student. I would have absorbed every one of his advice and practiced it myself. And this gracious lady, Rajastri Rai, Professor Ali Mehdi, Professor Head of the Department, Professors, faculty, and my esteemed and very affectionate students. I am humbled and nourished in spirit in being with you this afternoon in this great institution. Ladies and gentlemen, the two speakers earlier, the three speakers earlier, speaking the language of cricket, have taken the shine off the ball, and there's hardly anything left in the game. And every word that Justice Thakur mentioned has a deep impact on old friendships. You will have to understand life only when you come to a stage where you look back with some regret what you omitted to do because you could have done something. And sometimes it occurs to me, the whole civilization that man has now been proud of, speaks so much about, is all barking up the wrong tree. Somewhere, somehow, sometime, we have missed our destiny, we have missed our aim in building up a just and saving society. And just take a few minutes to place before you my reflections and concerns about three aspects of our contemporary life. One is, what about our personal liberty or options for choice in society and life? How much of our personal liberty we have surrendered for the sake of a social order? How do we look at the issues of social contract, Plato, that we are all incomplete by ourselves, every human being is incomplete by himself. He sees the argument of his completion in the company of others, and in that bargain he surrenders his own personal liberty so that collectively we adjust ourselves. This is, putting it short, the rest of the embellishment of that argument that we have built a society. And what did we build this society with objectively? We give to everyone, each one, the highest opportunity of achieving his highest self. This is the assurance we are given to everyone, that we have promised in the social contract that we provide to each one, everyone. Not everyone will become a Chief Justice and the Prime Minister or the Commander-in-Chief. The highest opportunity to achieve his highest potential. This opportunity we have assured, and for the sake of that exchange of that offer to us, we have surrendered our personal liberty to a social order. And we have paid to deliver this. What is the justification for expecting somebody to obey the law? Gandhi said, don't obey the law, but he made a rider. He said, those who disobey the law must voluntarily go and confess before the court and accept the punishment. The second part, Gandhi had forgot about it. The first part of disobeying the law was accepted. The second part did. That's why when Mahatma Gandhi asked C.R. Reddy, the great educationist in our state, what do you think of Satyagraha? C.R. Reddy told Gandhi, Satya is with you, Agraha is with your devout followers. That's the problem. Satya is with you, Agraha is with your followers. And when we have not been able to comply with the demands of a particular prescription, this is something which law students alone can reflect. Nobody else can reflect. Please take it from me. I have seen brilliant technical mind. I have been chairman of the committee to draft ethical guidelines on biocentric research. There are 40 eminent medical scientists. I've been associated with a number of institutions, brilliant men, but nobody can come anywhere near the range of things that occupies the legal mind. The legal mind, subtlety is the besetting sin of the legal mind, they say. Subtlety is the besetting sin of the legal mind. But forget what they said. But the subtlety which the legal mind alone can incisively go into an issue to analyze it. For example, you offer something which apparently is so attractive to society, and you think about the futility of all other things except sympathy and compassion. All other things are futile, and then you come to productive. And this is where personal liberty, with which you lawyers are the most concerned. Forget about enforcing contract. This country never will enforce a contract. There is a World Business Standard assessment made by the World Bank. They say in enforcing contract, India is the 164th country amongst 190 countries. If you think that you have entered into a contract and signed a document, be sure it is a violation. No court will enforce this in your lifetime. And the problem is that we respect a paper and a signature, not the conscience of mankind. And you know nothing else except in a piece of paper. That's why Kripalani in the debate said about some values of equality and fraternity. Fraternity is a very beautiful sentiment which we lawyers have never understood and unraveled its significance and potential. Fraternity is some of the most fascinating aspects. And Kripalani said, we have made it contentious by making a legal or a constitutional issue, make it a spiritual issue. Kripalani said there are spiritual and mystic values, not values of contract. This is the kind of thing that perhaps our young lawyers must reshape the world to this instrument of reconstruction of our that society. What have we done with it? What have we done with our society? See the kind of suffering that we have imposed on our own brothers and sisters. And to find a legal solution is the most stupid thing. And it's a great judge, Leonard Hand, said that society which looks to this judicially to solve its problem is a weak society. A society which looks up to the court to solve their problems is a weak society. Its vitality is gone. This is where I think you must please reflect on three things. Firstly, how to have enshrined personal liberty. Just apply your mind to the needs of this great thing. And this is something special about legal discipline. Tomorrow, everything will change. Concepts of property will change. You can't even, the tokens and symbols of property will change. And you don't know where the property will be. You can technically, in the spirit of the non-fungible asset, you can own a share in a piece of moon, and that property is traded in the cryptocurrency, this thing, and nobody knows where the control is. And you can have a share in Picasso, a painting of Picasso, that's also traded in the crypto market. And this is the kind of change that is going to happen. And we must be intellectually equivalent to understand and comprehend the depth and dimensions of this complication. And lawyers alone can do that. And law will increasingly become postularism, lawyers in the junior branch of economics is going increasingly becoming a junior branch of economics. You will have to deal with the complications of economic development and conceptualization, new kinds of property, new kinds of ideas of privilege, new kinds of control. And this kind of thing is mind-boggling. Law alone, legal faculty alone can deal with it. No other discipline. They will provide problems, they will provide solutions. This is what I think is going to be the great future of mankind. Thirdly, I just want to tell you, share a few thoughts. I have already taken a lot of your time, but I want to share a few thoughts about what is the remedy for the human predicament today. What is the remedy for art, dance, drama, architecture, beauty of nature. All this savors to life itself. Life becomes enriched in its own way by this. And how do we study the story of civilization through the epics, great epics of this country and other countries? Go to Virgin, see the Aeneid. He was born in 70 BC. 70 BC. He lived 50 years. What beautiful thing. And he completed it, he died at the age of 49. He wanted his friends to publish it. He was so ashamed that he wrote that. But his friends disobeyed him and published it. And see the story of civilization unfolding through this day. Go to Homer. In 800 BC he wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey. Just see how over centuries great authors have overheard each other. And you go to Mahabharata in the Adi Parva. Vedavyas goes to Matsyagandhi and wants to beget the future. Parashara goes to Matsyagandhi and wants to beget Vedavyas, God himself. And he says, he proposes a union with her. He wants privacy. There are two metals, as the chant says, there are the two common factors. One is perfume. Yojanagandhi, Matsyagandhi becomes Yojanagandhi. He becomes perfume, pervading perfume. A fisher woman smelling fish becomes a perfume. And the sound of mist to whether others, even sun could not penetrate that sound of mist. And that's the privacy that they planned for them. This, we don't know when Mahabharata was supposed to be later than Ramayana, but in the Vedas you have a reference to glimpses of it, references to Mahabharata first and not Ramayana. And in this story, in Adi Parva, just go to Iliad. There that goddess Hera, she is perfume. She is described as perfume. And she wants to go to Zeus, who is the god of destiny. And he wants to mate with him. And she goes to him in the form of perfume. And they provide for secrecy. They have a golden misty shroud. See the two metaphors, two similes. One is perfume and the other is the mystic shroud of secrecy, privacy. How the dialogue has gone across centuries. How great poets have overheard each other over centuries. And tell the story of civilization through these epics. And what we learn is the decline of humankind. From Ramayana, the standards of Ramayana to Mahabharata, and ultimately you see this kind of degradation of man coming through this. What is the message that humanity, universities have in teaching our story of the past? Our story of the past. What are we teaching them? What does they teach us? And the last thing, when the story goes to say that gives and administers a foul blow to the Kaurava, to kill him. Balaram is so enraged, he takes his own mace and wants to punish himself for that. Krishna holds his hand and says, the beautiful statement in the last statement of Mahabharata. The study is started. These are common things hereafter. Yeah, these are common things hereafter. Then don't get too agitated about this. These are the common things, and the only solution, as you young men here, is to whom my Lord Justice Thakur appeals, that you are conscious that you are the protectors of this society from this kind of injustice that is going to happen. Krishna promised that you will be full of injustice. He told his own brother, held his hand and said, these are common things hereafter. Why are you getting agitated about it? This is something which is which I want you, young man, I'll finish with one request to you. Please see five films. One is Kill a Mockingbird. You must have seen that. All of you must have seen that beautiful film, Kill a Mockingbird. A lawyer, white lawyer defends black children for the school admission. Kill a Mockingbird. Then there is a beautiful film called Inherent Debate, the Scopes Trial. A beautiful film where the man who propounds for Christianity as prevailing over the law is to be taken out and a stretcher put stand the cross-examination. That's the beautiful film. The third film is La Amistad, a ship, the name of a ship. That ship carried from Sierra Leone some slave laborers. They were mutilated in the ship and killed the captain. The trial ended. By the time they were ultimately acquitted and came back, they found that everything is bad. Their own members of the family had disappeared. That's a state of destruction and disappointment. That was the most touching alarm is that. Then the story of Alan Turing. Alan Turing was a brilliant computer scientist. He unraveled the code in the Second World War about the German missiles. He unraveled the story of that and prepared it. And he went to the police station and complained that somebody had broken his home. The policeman asked him, "Do you suspect somebody?" He said, "I suspect a boy downtown." "How do you know him?" "I have a homosexual relationship with him." Suddenly they arrested him, put him there, and gave the what is that? Female hormone injection, chemical castration. They subjected him to chemical castration. The boy, he a brilliant scientist, he put scientist, he committed suicide. The British in 1999 very generously said, "We have given a posthumous pardon." Whole England shouted against them. And in 2009, they said they gave a posthumous apology. It is the lawyers who protested and got converted the posthumous pardon into a posthumous apology. This happened when in America when a great judge, he is my hero. Actually, somebody who wrote something about me said he worshipped Holmes and Carlos as if he is gone. Somebody, Godboy was an American journalist who wrote about me. He said, he accused me of worshipping. I said, I feel this. And he spoke of 3 generations of imbeciles and approved the castration of mentally retarded women. That came the assembly which passed the resolution under the pressure of the lawyers and the public thinking. They gave an apology. The legislature passed a resolution of apology over the judgment. These are some of the things which are talked about everything. And I think we have all lost the vitality to think fiercely and forcefully and compulsively about this thing. With the young mind, that power. I remember when I was a student in the college, the kind of feeling, the remote we would express against injustice, even the assumed or imagined injustice. Today, we are complacent about the established great injustices of our civilization. Ladies and gentlemen, my appeal to you is that enjoy your life. This is the only life God has given me. I don't believe in change anything yet, but as the Pradeep said, at the same time, think intensely, compulsively, forcefully about the predicament of our condition, the human condition today, and what you can do to fight some fear or some way. This is all that I have played to you. At the end of my journey, yesterday it was an exhilarating experience. I must express my gratitude to Mr. Pradeep Roy and the gracious lady for arranging us, taking us across the River Ganga. And in the evening, you could see those waves I think it's short of Vishwa Darshan. It was the most exhilarating experience a person could have. And it has become a commonplace for you. And it has become a daily affair, and you are not there. If sun had risen once in 100 years, they would have paid the $10,000 and the ticket to watch it. Poor man, sun raises every morning. And you have forgotten. And these three, like you young men, twice in a month, see the sunrise. Twice a month, see the sunset. And our poets have spoken so beautifully about sunrise and sunset. If you want to retain the freshness of emotion, this is the foundation for every vital action of human purpose, human achievement. Just see sunrise and sunset. Thank you very much for your attention.
नमस्कार। जब ज्ञान की गंगा बहती हो और इतने प्रवाह से बहे तो शायद कुछ कहने को रह नहीं जाता, लेकिन जब गंगा की बात आती है तो उद्गम क्या था ये भी आप सभी जरूर जानना चाहेंगे। और जब धारा बह रही है, इस धारा को बहने में सहयोग किसने किया ये भी आप समझना चाहेंगे। मुझे यकीन है कि जब ऐसे चमकदार और सूरज आप सबों के सामने है, चमकदार आकाश गंगा आपके सामने है, तो आप ये जरूर कई ऐसे लोग होंगे जो कहीं न कहीं सोचते होंगे कि इतना ज्ञान कहाँ से आता है। जाहिर सी बात है कि ये इन तमाम महान विभूतियों की अपनी मेहनत है, लेकिन इन विभूतियों की इस मेहनत को बरकरार रखने के लिए ये लगातार पढ़ सकें, लगातार अपने काम पर पूरा ध्यान दे सकें, इसके लिए इन विभूतियों के पीछे इन शिव, ये तीन शिव आपके सामने बैठे हैं, इन तीन शिव के पीछे तीन शक्तियां हैं। और मुझे लगा कि अगर उन शक्तियों को हम याद नहीं करें तो बाबा की इस नगरी में अन्याय हो जाएगा, क्योंकि ये शिव की नगरी है। तो माँ के बिना, शक्ति के बिना ये पूरा जो माहौल बना है ये पूर्ण कैसे होगा। पार्वती वेंकट चलैया मैडम हम लोग के साथ आने वाली थी, पर कुछ स्वास्थ्य के कारणों से वो यहाँ नहीं आ सकी, पर उनकी वो जिजीविषा देखिए कि बेंगलोर में वो व्हील चेयर पर हैं, वो कहीं सफर नहीं कर पाती हैं। बेंगलोर से वो इसलिए यहाँ आई कि काशी नगरी है और साथ में उनको बनारस हिंदू विश्वविद्यालय आना था। तो आप ये समझ सकते हैं कि उनकी जिज्ञासा कितनी है। और साथ में अमिता ठाकुर मैम हमारे साथ हैं, गीतांजलि मैम हमारे साथ हैं। आप लोग बहुत लोग यंग हैं यहाँ पर, अभी गर्लफ्रेंड्स बन गए। मैं ये लिबर्टी ले सकती हूँ क्योंकि मैं अपने आप को यहाँ की बहू मानती हूँ। मेरे पति यहाँ पढ़े हैं तो मैं यहाँ पर एक भाभी के लिहाज से लिबर्टी भी ले सकती हूँ थोड़ी। कई लोग ऐसे होंगे जिनकी गर्लफ्रेंड सभी होंगी, तो मेरा और बॉयफ्रेंड्स भी होंगे, आजकल स्त्री शक्ति भी बहुत आगे है। तो मेरा ये मशवरा है कि अगर आप देश चलाना चाहते हैं, राज्य चलाना चाहते हैं तो शादी न करें, आजकल ये फैशन है। पर अगर आप इस देश को कैसे चलना चाहिए ये बताना चाहते हैं तो शादी जरूर करें, क्योंकि एक बड़ा वकील होने के लिए, चाहे आप स्त्री हो या पुरुष हो, या एक अच्छा जज होने के लिए बहुत जरूरी है कि आपका घर संभला रहे, क्योंकि आप दिन रात अपने मन मस्तिष्क को उस दुनिया में डाल देते हैं। और इस वजह से आप अगर नून तेल लकड़ी के चक्कर में पड़े रहेंगे तो आप अपनी पूर्ण जो मेहनत है, जो पूर्ण शक्ति है, आप इस क्षेत्र को नहीं दे सकेंगे। इसलिए जरूरी है कि आपका घर संभला रहे, आपकी जो एक इस ब्रह्मांड को जिस तरह से चलाया गया है, जो प्रकृति का नियम है वो संभला रहे। तभी एक आप अच्छा वकील बन सकेंगे, तभी आप वेंकट चलैया बनेंगे जब आपके साथ पार्वती हो, तभी आप तीरथ सिंह ठाकुर बनेंगे जब आपके साथ सरिता मैम हो, तभी आप विजय सिंह ठाकुर बनेंगे जब आप गीतांजलि ठाकुर जैसी एक सहभागिनी को ढूंढ रहे होंगे। और महिलाओं के लिए भी मैं यही कहूंगी कि अपने लिए भी एक बहुत अच्छा पति जरूर ढूंढिएगा, तब आप राष्ट्रीय रानी बन सकते हैं। और मुझे याद है अकबर इलाहाबादी का वो शेर कि जब ये कहा जाता था वकीलों के लिए कि पैदा हुआ वकील तो शैतान ने कहा लो आज हम भी साहिब औलाद हो गए। ये एक फीलिंग रहती थी, जैसा सर ने भी बताया, जैसे किरण सिंह ठाकुर ने बताया, लेकिन आज की तारीख में जो मैं एक मीडिया कर्मी हूँ, पत्रकार हूँ, और हम लोगों की एक कोशिश होती है समाज को आईना दिखाने की, बदलने की, और ठीक वही कोशिश आप सबों की भी है। आजकल उद्देश्य बदल गए हैं, तो वकालत में आजकल इसलिए दाखिला लिया जाता है कि ताकि कुछ आप अलग कर सकें, कुछ नया कर सकें। इसलिए आजकल बड़ा फैशन में है, और वकालत में कहते हैं कि वकालत में दाखिला लिया जाएगा, सारे गुनहगारों का पर्दाफाश किया जाएगा। तो ये आपकी जिम्मेदारी है कि आप ऐसा ही करें इस समाज के प्रति। देखिए महिलाओं की आवाज दबा है। कितनी भी कोई दबाए, हम भले जिसको हम लोग कहते हैं कि हम पर्दे में रहती हैं पर हम ही चलाती हैं, तो वो इसलिए कहने का अर्थ ये है, माफ कीजिएगा मैं बहुत ज्यादा वक्त नहीं लूंगी। बहुत कुछ आप लोगों ने इतना हीरे समेट लिए हैं कि आपको कहाँ इसको रखें, और कबीर की तरह हीरा पायो गांठ गठायो, और कभी इसको घूमने नहीं दीजिएगा, खोने नहीं दीजिएगा। पर एक पत्रकार होने के नाते मैं आपको ये सलाह जरूर दूंगी कि आप अपनी, चूंकि आप वाणी के सौदागर होने वाले हैं, और जब भी आप कोई कुछ करे, चाहे आप जज बने चाहे आप वकील बने, उस अंतिम व्यक्ति को जरूर याद रखिएगा जिसकी पूरी आस आप पर लगी हुई है कि आप उसके मामले को किस तरह से किस तरह से सामने रखें। मुझे एक इंसिडेंट याद है। मैं रिपोर्टिंग के दौरान में एक कवरेज करनी थी। एक वकील ने बड़ी आर्गुमेंट की अंग्रेजी में, और जज साहब भी सुने जा रहे थे, वो भी पूछे जा रहे थे उससे सवाल, और वो बेचारा लिटिगेंट आराम से देख रहा था, और जज साहब ने फैसला सुना दिया। अंत में उसने अपने वकील से पूछा कि जज साहब का कहना, मतलब उसको समझ में नहीं आया कि क्या हुआ। तो ये जो मैं इसलिए बात कह रही हूँ कि मैं नहीं कहती कि आप अंग्रेजी ना पढ़ें, तमाम चीजें ना करें, अंदाजे बयां पे चुकी बात चल रही थी, इसलिए आप सभी लोग उस पावन धरती से हैं जहाँ पता नहीं कितनी भाषाओं का संगम होता है। तो इन भाषाओं को अपने दिल में सहेजिए। अगर तमिल है तो तमिल भी जानिए, अंग्रेजी तो जानिए, हिंदी तो जानिए ही, या फिर आप अगर भोजपुर से हैं तो भोजपुर भी जानिए, और अपनी बात को, अब जो भी आप एक वकील हैं तो उस तक पहुंचाने की कोशिश कीजिए जो बड़ी आस से उस न्याय व्यवस्था की ओर अपनी उम्मीद लगाए हुए है। ये कई आप हैं, अभी शुरुआत है, जिसको कहा जाए, इसको आप पॉजिटिवली लीजिएगा कि विदा इश्क है, रोता है क्या, आगे आगे देखिए होता है क्या, शादी जरूर कीजिए।
As a part of your studentship, this university has conferred 2 doctorates on me 25 years ago, and gave me an award which is a very sensational, something very beautiful, called the Lakshman Singh Award. That I am a member of your student community because I am the recipient of the degree from your university. Thank you very much.